Hello, folks. It's me again. Let's pretend I am Russellville's city planner, developer, whatever you want to call it, and I have worked out all the kinks. I have made all the deals with landowners and business owners, and I've relocated whoever needed to be relocated and, did all that, and I have the freedom to do whatever I wanted. If I did, this is what I would do at this current point. So let's take a walk down Fantasy Lane, shall we? Okay, first of all, I would start with the area that's on Lawrence Street that burnt down quite a few years ago. In my opinion, that would be the perfect spot for a 2 or 3 story parking deck, and the city or owner or whatever could charge like maybe 50 cents to $1 to park there, say from, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning to maybe 11 o'clock at night. I think that maybe that would be a good time frame, or whatever the city would want to do. But I think that would be a good idea, because that's one thing that I see a problem with in Russellville and a lot of downtown areas is the parking. So if you provide better parking, then you will have more people coming in. And, I don't think 50 cents or $1 would be too bad, for all day parking, especially if you've got something going on and a reason for people to be downtown. Okay, my next idea would be for the area where that gas station is. That's right on the corner between East Lawrence and Jackson Street. This store, usually for some reason, there doesn't seem to be businesses that set up within this store. I think that it would be a good idea to set up a production company in this spot. And when I say production company, I mean a company that can take different kinds of footage and create, like they can take a historical footage or images or whatever, and they can create videos and films out of it. They can create hologram images. They, can use software and different things like that, and they can create these things and sell it to museums and, different companies and businesses across the United States that maybe want to get in on the hologram business, because of course I'm really on this hologram thing right now, and I've got all these ideas. But this company can produce those things and sell them and use it, say like if Russellville gets something going, museums and things like that, where they would need holograms and things like that, this company could produce that stuff. And I just think that it would be really neat. I mean, I know the idea probably sounds far out there for some people, but I know what I'm talking about. If someone can get something like this going, they could do that. They could do productions for the TV station, which I'll explain that here in a minute. But, they could produce things like that. And even, say, like a theatrical group. And, of course, I will explain that too. But this company could work with actors and all that stuff. They could have areas set up in the building, because it would probably be a pretty tall building, at least, I don't know, 3 stories, something like that. And there could be different rooms where actors and, theater people can put on different things, and, local talent, stuff like that, can work together and create productions and use it either for the TV or for the theater or whatever. I just think this company could get its hands in certain, different areas and really have a good thing going. I mean, that's just my opinion, but yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. The area on Jackson Avenue, where, which I've already discussed this in a prior video, where the faith mission is. I had the idea that that would be a good building. The first building there would be a good building to put in a social center and a gym. And when I say that, I mean an area where it'd be like a big gym. There would be a walking track or running track or whatever a person wants to do. Have that incorporated in it, and also have areas for there to be classroom environments, like to do presentations, to teach people different skills, for like the whole community, to, anything from sewing to DJing to cooking, you name it. Have different rooms set up for this type of stuff. Aerobics, even classrooms to teach people about math, computers, English, whatever. Just, it'll be like a community thing. Whatever the community decides would be good to teach people at any one given time. They can use those rooms and, do what they want to. They can have meetings in there, different companies. If they say, like, if your company doesn't have like a lot of room for meetings and stuff like that, well, you can use this social center to have your meetings and stuff. So, yeah, and if it's 2 or 3 stories, if one could use at least 2 or 3 stories of this building, it would be perfect for stuff like that. And right next to it could be a TV/radio station. The top floor could be the TV station, and the bottom part could be the radio station. I think that would be good. I think Russellville could really use something like that. I think that that could be, that could be really good. It kind of excites me to think of what kind of different programs could be created, even like a little news thing, and and the radio station, it could be anything from talk radio to pop music to country, whatever, which I know we already got I think a country/gospel station in Russellville, but it would be nice to have something that's different, nothing that clashes with what they're doing, because that's not the whole point. The point is to bring in more stuff, but not to have something that's going to knock something or someone else out of business. That's not the goal here. The goal here is to make room for everybody. So, that would be the whole point of it. So, it would be nice to have a radio station that, that mixes it up and has different things, different varieties. It'd be nice to have something like NPR and, a Prairie Home Companion type thing, not copying it exactly, but like kind of using that as a basis to create like a radio theater like thing, to where people can come in, actors can come in and put on a show over the radio. I think that would be nice. So, yeah, that would be one thing to do. Okay, also, the area that used to be the Meals on Wheels and the old Holly Meyer building, just knock it down and put in a parking lot. I think that would be great, and use black asphalt, because it really pops, it really stands out. I'm going to talk a little bit more about other parking lots throughout the area, because parking, with these ideas, if these ideas ever came to fold, parking would be a necessity. So, but with this parking lot, I wouldn't make it metered. I would just make it just a regular parking lot, because, you got to think about the people that will be working at the radio station, TV station, people that would, need to go to the social center and the gym and all that stuff. Just make this parking lot free. That way, that will give plenty of parking space for that. And also, back behind the social center, gym, and radio station would be a park for children, because it just really kind of disheartens me, the fact that the old park got knocked down for the A.W. Todd building, which I'm not, I know the A.W. Todd building is a wonderful thing. I'm glad that the town has something like that for the community and the seniors and everything, but it just kind of saddens me that they had to knock down the park to build it. I just think that was kind of unnecessary. I feel like that could have been built somewhere else, but I digress. So I think that it would be nice to bring back the park for children, for them to have a place to go and play. And, especially say if their mom wants to go work out in the gym, or their dad or whatever, and they're old enough to watch themselves or have somebody with them or whatever, they can just go to the park and play while, their parents do whatever, I think that would be wonderful. And there's a nice little gap right in there where they used to park the Meals on Wheels vans and all that stuff. They can slap down a nice grassy area and throw up some playground equipment. Bada bing, bada boom, you got your park. And I think that would, be a good thing for this area, to give little kids something to do. Okay, moving on. Okay, another area that I think would be the perfect spot for a big department store would be the area right where Lawrence Street and Jackson cross each other. It would be, just in my opinion, perfect, because, right there, it's right on Main Street, and it's just the perfect location. I know there's a lighting business right there that just recently moved in or whatever, because it used to be full of thrift stores and stuff like that. Well, in this fantasy world, the developer and everything will work out a deal with the lighting company to either move their business inside the department store but on a smaller scale, or relocate somewhere else. But in my world, this department store would be at least maybe 3, possibly 4 stories high, but at least 3 stories high, and it would offer all kinds of stuff, you name it, from novelty toys, novelty candy, to a video game store, to a souvenir shop, to someone that does woodworking and sells their stuff, to antique replicas, to makeup, perfume, jewelry, clothing, even tailored clothing, all that type of thing, which I will explain this in a later video. I will go into more detailed of what I would envision for this department store. But as of right now, that, in my opinion, that is the spot. If Russellville was to ever put in a nice big department store, that would be the spot. And the good thing is, or what would probably keep it in business and keep it going, is if it offered something that a place like Walmart doesn't offer. Things that kind of are off the beaten path, something that you can't just get. You could order it online or whatever, but you just don't get it on the average everyday thing. You know what I mean? So, and back behind it would be a good spot, a good place to clear out those buildings that aren't really getting used. That, maybe there's some churches or whatever in there that have popped up, but those could be relocated. Just clear that out and put in a nice black asphalt right in there. Perfect. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. And that would help with parking as far as that area goes. Okay. All right. The next idea would be back behind that, back in behind the library. That area, I think it used to be like a feed and seed area. I don't know what it's being used for now, but if there is anything using it, maybe it could be relocated, blah, blah, blah. And an art museum could be put in that spot. I think that would be a nice little area, be quaint, perfect for something like that. Maybe it could be an art museum. Even if they couldn't get their hands on original works, they could do replicas, holograms, whatever, of other people's artwork, blah, blah, blah. Be a perfect location for that. And like I said, it doesn't have to be the original artwork. They, if they can work out deals where they can get replicas and whatever, there you go. Okay. And over from it, across the road, course, that's already been cleared out, or one part is cleared out of it, that had, it was like an old derelict building. They cleared it out and put like a parking area for used cars and new cars or whatever. But then right beside it is another building. I think it may be being used for a church or something like that. I'm not sure, but that could be knocked down and turned into a metered parking area. I think that would be a great location for that. That way, say like you could set up different parking meters in each little parking spot and charge anywhere from, say, 50 cents to $1, depending on how long a person is staying there, or even a quarter up to $1, say a quarter per 15 minutes or whatever. They can park there, and then, because I think there's like a cafe right in there. There's been different cafes on Coffee Street in that area. I think it was Kynard's Restaurant at one time. Oh my gosh, the other names slipped my mind, but it's been different. Most people that live here know the different restaurants that were there, and I know that parking is kind of a problem right in there. But if they could pop in a nice little black asphalt parking area and throw in some parking meters and just charge just a small amount, whatever the city wants, and let people park there, and then that way they can go in and eat, and then go visit the art museum. And also, an inside movie theater would be perfect right there. Knock down that building that's there, that's right beside that. I'm thinking that might be the what used to be the Wishing Well, if I'm not mistaken. Take that building, turn it into an inside movie theater. That would be the perfect thing. And of course, in another video, I had mentioned about having like a car-themed inside movie theater. That could be one idea, or just a regular inside movie theater. I think that would be the perfect spot for that. And then, like I said, there you go. You got your parking and all that. Okay. And this is another idea that I've got that's for these buildings on Jackson, the Roxy Theater and the building that used to house the Hester Printing Company. Now, let's just say I worked out some kind of deal, as the developer, worked out some kind of deal with any businesses that's in that area and whatever, and relocated them and all that. If I had my way, I would turn that building, either knock it down or revamp it and turn it into where the Hester Printing Company was. Turn that into some kind of museum, not an art museum, but a different type of museum, which I will explain that in another video or whatever, but have some type of theme going that would be of interest to the public, to where people would enjoy coming and visiting. And beside it, I would knock down that building and put in a parking lot there. And then on the other side of the Roxy, I would knock down that building and put a parking lot there as well. I think there used to be Grissom's Cleaners, or may still be Grissom's Cleaners, I'm not sure. Because there's been so many changes in downtown to where sometimes it's hard to keep up with what's going on. But knock down those buildings and keep up the theater, because that could be perfect for shows and things like that, for theatrical performances. I think it would boost it up if there was better parking in this area. I think that is what has hindered people from putting on shows and everything, is because there's just really no parking. It's just not, people are having to use the church across the road. They're having to use their parking area, and it's just become more of a hindrance. And they've even had to block the area off and have police keeping it blocked off, and taking care of traffic flow and all that. I think this would kind of help with that a little bit. I don't know if it would be a good idea to make those metered or not. I guess it would be up to the city, whatever the city would deem as a good idea. Maybe one of them can be metered and the other one can be free, or vice versa, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just whatever the city would think would be a good idea. Probably metered would work best. I know some people are going, boo, through or whatever. But, you know, to make the city money and to, you know, to also provide parking. You know, if you want to go there and see something, then you'll pay the 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, whatever the heck it is that, you know, depending on how long you plan on parking there. You know, just set up different meters within the parking area for each vehicle, and just, there you go, you know. So, that, you know, of course, that would be up to the city. But anyway, that pretty much concludes my presentation for this video. But, you know, what do you guys think? Do you think these are good ideas or not? I guess time will tell.